I'm meteorologist Melissa Knorr just after 2 o'clock here at 11 Alive in our streaming studio, and very serious weather situation unfolding for the weekend. We're talking about a severe weather outbreak, and Georgia going to be included in that severe weather. So several days ago, we were already seeing the signs in the model that this would be a very serious situation to take, and it's playing out to be that way. So we've got this weather impact alert tomorrow afternoon, evening through Sunday morning as we track heavy rain, severe thunderstorms into North Georgia. And I cannot stress enough everything we're seeing in the models. I want you to be aware this is coming, but I want you to make your friends and family aware that this is coming as well. This is going to be a large severe weather event that stretches across the southeast. This update just came in the last 30 minutes from the Storm Prediction Center, and you see in that pink color on the map throughout central and eastern Mississippi through central Alabama. That is a very rare level 5 risk of severe weather. We do not see level 5 risks every single severe weather season. Sometimes we can go a couple of seasons or 3 or 4 seasons without one, but they've got that now for Birmingham back to the west into central Mississippi. And then something we do not see here in North Georgia at all very often is a level 4 out of 5 risk of severe weather. So this is the latest update from the Storm Prediction Center, now extending that into our western Atlanta suburbs all throughout West Georgia. It goes up to about West Cobb, western Fulton County, down through Fayette County, Coweta County. It doesn't matter if you're just in the level 3 or barely in the level 4. It is going to be a serious, significant weather event across North Georgia moving in tomorrow night. So I want you to take it seriously, stay informed, and by being here on our 11 Alive Plus stream, you're already taking one step in the right direction moving forward. Let's talk big picture about this system, and then we'll go through the timing. The event actually begins today. The main big area of low pressure pushing up through the Midwest down to the Mid-South, producing a level 4 threat of severe weather. Then for tomorrow, we've got another low that's pushing throughout that deepening trough, and that is going to bring in our southeastern severe weather outbreak. And then by Sunday, you see in yellow that threat pushes east along the east coast. So we are going to be watching the storms west of us, how they develop tomorrow afternoon, and then tracking them still remaining strong and severe as they get into North Georgia. These are our storm threats. Heavy rainfall, everybody's going to see that. Strong winds, high threat. Tornado risk, moderate. We do not put that tornado risk in that moderate range very often. And looking at some of the new data coming in the last couple of hours, it's very striking for tomorrow. You know, we knew that to our west in Alabama and Mississippi, the atmosphere would be a lot more primed for tornadoes. Some of those could be strong. Some of them could be long track tornadoes as well. But now some of the model data is showing that our environment could support several strong tornadoes as well, that meaning EF2 or higher. So tornado risk in the moderate range, and then hail in the low range. The hail risk would go up if we have more of those discrete cells. We call them supercells by themselves. Those are in their kind of own environment, not in a line of storms, and those are what have these really strong updrafts and downdrafts and can also bring some large hail with them. So Let me talk more about that tornado threat. What you're looking at right now is a product that looks at the tornado environment. It's called the significant tornado parameter. It is looking at a lot of wind shear. If we have just a lot of our ingredients to make tornadoes happen, and not just happen, but support stronger tornadoes. You see to our west, this is 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. You see some of these color shadings on the map in the pink and the purple and the white. That is at the top end of the chart. We're looking at raw values. If you were kind of a weather nerd and look at STP values ahead of severe weather events, those raw values are 7, 8, 9, 10, even above 10 for tomorrow afternoon and evening. But what I want to show you is how we still see some of these STP or tornado environment values kind of in this mid-level range as we're going into tomorrow evening in Georgia. They're not going to be as high tomorrow evening into 10 o'clock tomorrow night. You still see them really high across Alabama, but starting to increase in West Georgia as those storms approach. And then the tornado environment, this is at 12:30, so just after midnight. In this red color, the orange color, this environment, this type of environment, if that plays out, is conducive of supporting a stronger tornado. And that's why looking at this new model data coming in, the Storm Prediction Center, in collaboration with the National Weather Service, decided to expand that level 4 threat of severe weather. So this is not just going to be a straight line wind event for us. It's not just going to be an event where we're tracking a brief weak spin up tornado that's EF0 or EF1. We could have strong tornadoes tomorrow evening and overnight. And I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm saying it to tell you that realistically, you need to have your plan in place. If you're placed in a tornado warning polygon, where is your safe place? Where are you going to go? And in terms of where to go, remember, it's always a basement if you have one, but if you don't, it's a low-level closet, a low-level bathroom on that bottom floor of your house, an interior room away from windows and doors. And you want to put as many walls and windows in between you and the outside as possible, really as many walls as you can. A lot of times if houses do not have basements, you might have a closet under the staircase. That's also been proven to be a good place. A bathroom's a good place because it's got the plumbing into the ground, and that plumbing in the ground can protect you if there is a tornado and, you know, peeling away some of the outside walls. That bathtub's actually a really good place to be in as well, or a decent place to be in. And then also when we talk about tornado events, having some way to shelter your head, your neck, your spinal cord. That could be a helmet, that could be any kind of helmet, football helmet, bike helmet, anything like that. And also blankets, mattresses, pillows can also shelter you. But that tornado environment, I was showing you how high, really off the charts it was to our west in Alabama. It's still going to be very favorable in West Georgia. The later in the night that we go, the less favorable the environment will become. Does that mean we're not going to see tornadoes in East Georgia? No, it just means that the environment may not be as conducive to support as strong of tornadoes or as many tornadoes. So we're not saying we're going to see X amount of tornadoes. We're just saying the environment, the ingredients coming together can support not just tornadoes, but strong tornadoes tomorrow evening and overnight. And this is from the Storm Prediction Center. This is something that is breaking down the tornado threat, the hail threat, the wind threat, and what they're kind of pegging those risks for us tomorrow. And I'm going to start with the tornado threat, okay? You see colors on this map. Let me tell you what they actually mean. Red color, 15% chance of a tornado within, I think it's 25 or 50 miles of you, 10% chance to the east. You see this hatched kind of signature where we get those stripes along the map. That means stronger tornadoes are possible. So we're not just seeing an environment supportive of tornadoes, but they could be stronger tornadoes. They could be longer lived tornadoes as well. And that's what we really have to take very seriously, that tornado risk for tomorrow. Hail risk up to 10% as well. And then to the east, this is a 30% chance of damaging winds. You see the hatch marks on there as well. That means significant damaging winds in excess of 70 miles per hour. So that's across the entire area. So that's why I put that wind. We go back to the threat board. I put wind at high, tornado at moderate, but you got to talk to Chris Holcomb, chief meteorologist, when he gets in, because we got to look at more data, see if we want to leave it in the moderate or increase it. But that latest tornado environment that I just showed you, this is the high resolution rapid refresh model, the HRRR model, really is striking. And it's it's kind of a jump up from what things were looking like earlier. So again, all modes of severe weather possible, Very serious situation tomorrow night. Know your county, how to find it on a map. Know your safe place. If you live in a mobile home, that is not a safe space. It's not a safe space during 70, 80 mile per hour winds. It is not a safe space during a tornado warning either. So I want you to have a more sturdy structure to go to, whether that be a storm shelter, a community church, maybe the Walmart around the corner, or you have a friend or a neighbor who lives 5 miles down the road, 10 miles down the road, or someone you can stay with tomorrow night. That way you are in a more secure building. Manufactured homes are also not good ideas during a tornado warning. They also can get wind under them very easily, and they're not fixated to the ground as strongly. As we go on tornado damage surveys with the National Weather Service, they are looking to see what the integrity of homes were before the storm came and then what they look like in the aftermath. And it is often not just the mobile homes, but the manufactured homes, homes that are not kind of bolted down to the ground and where the roofs are not bolted to the sides of the house, that the structure gives way a lot easier. So that's why I tell you mobile homes, manufactured homes, not good places to be. In the city, we have a lot of apartment buildings. Now, a lot of those apartment buildings are built very well, but if you're on one of those upper floors, that is not a good place to be. You go to a stairwell, the bottom floor of the house, or if you have a friend who lives on the bottom floor of your apartment building, go there. If you have an underground parking deck, that is also a good place to be. I say that with one caveat. We could also have heavy rain over the weekend, so I am concerned about some minor street flooding. I don't think that's going to flood parking decks altogether, but I just want you to be aware that's something we'll be watching for those lower levels as well. Have multiple ways to get warnings. I've already mentioned that, but it is so critical that you do not consider a storm siren outside as a reliable way to get warning during a severe weather event. Those are meant for people who are outside exercising and have no idea that there are storms coming in. They are not intended to be your primary way to get notified of a tornado coming in. Every single county and jurisdiction has a different criteria for putting those sirens off, okay? It's not mandated across the state to be the same criteria. So it's kind of not a great way. No weather radio on your smartphone. Everybody's got these, right? If you go to the alert section, on your settings section on your phone, you go down to those notifications, and I'm scrolling down right here. You can find at the bottom of your notifications Amber Alerts, you can find emergency alerts, public safety alerts, and test alerts. Make sure you are turning on the emergency alerts. You go into those, you can get local alerts for your phone that are sent straight from the government, and then the 11 Alive app on your phone as well. You can go into the settings section of that app on your settings section in your smartphone, and you can turn on the notifications. You can put your area in. That way you are pinged and alerted when there is a warning for your house. Wireless emergency alerts on your phone, 11 Alive app, no weather radio. There are some other apps that will also feature kind of like that. So have two different ways to get warnings, and then prepping your house now. Secure and bring in loose and lightweight objects out there. Okay, timing. What are we looking at for timing? Northwest Georgia going to get hit first. So 8 p.m. Saturday to 12 a.m. on Sunday morning. For the metro area in this blue color, so that includes Canton, Gainesville, Marietta, Atlanta, Peachtree City, Tyrone, out towards kind of Conyers, Rockdale County, LaGrange. Noonan as well. That's between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. And then for our eastern counties, Athens, Covington, out into kind of Greene County and Walton County, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. early Sunday morning. Let's go through everything forecast track hour by hour, then we'll kind of reset with what we talked about. This afternoon, beautiful the rest of the day. A little bit of a breeze from the south. We're up in the mid 70s for high temperatures. And honestly, most of your Saturday is going to be warm. It's going to be gusty, but it's going to be dry. First thing on Saturday morning, I'm watching for a couple of showers and storms that might move into northwest Georgia. We're talking 7, 8, 9 o'clock. This model does not look impressive. Other models have had them staying a little bit strong into northwest Georgia. A few of us might get impacted by those first thing tomorrow morning. They could contain some gusty winds, some heavy rainfall, but I'm not expecting organized widespread severe weather there. Then we get past the morning hours. Watch us breaking into some sunshine tomorrow afternoon. We're going to be up close to 80 degrees for your Saturday afternoon. But by 6:30, you notice storms to our west, and it's going to be those storms that we track into North Georgia later Saturday evening. Let's push the clock out. This is showing you 10 o'clock tomorrow night, Saturday night, moving through Dalton, Rome, starting to get into northwestern Bartow County as well, down to Carrollton, We'll push the clock out into midnight, 1 o'clock, moving through the heart of the metro. So heart of the metro, 1 o'clock tomorrow night. 2, 3 o'clock, eastern suburbs. By 4 o'clock, it's moving through Athens, Thomaston, Eatonton, and then from there, this thing is getting out of here pretty quickly. We should see mostly dry weather for the rest of your Sunday. So again, it's a very significant severe weather threat. That was our internal graph model. That is one of our internal models that you can't get on any other website. That's a special model that we have. But I also want to show you, I'm going to pull in a different model. This is the HER model. I was showing you earlier the significant tornado parameter for that. This is what it actually looks like for the future radar, the forecast track. And it has a lot more of that early morning activity. This is why I wanted to show you that. It has more of that early morning rain, thunderstorm action versus what our graph model shows you. So this is kind of a worst case scenario with who gets rain first thing in the morning. That's showing you at 8:30, we're getting rain all the way down and some thunderstorms all the way down to Carrollton, maybe to Bartow, Cherokee County, and up into the North Georgia mountains. Then see that that kind of lifts as we go into the afternoon. We break into sunshine. This is 5 o'clock. So we're going to be up with sunshine temperatures. I mean, we're talking 78 to 82 for highs tomorrow afternoon in the metro. It's going to be a warm day and also turning windy as we go throughout the second half of the day. Then I'm going to push the forecast track out to 9 o'clock. Okay? 9 o'clock. We might start to see a couple of cells moving into northwest Georgia. But what I want to point out, you see how these are kind of almost look like little skinny hearts. Little heart shape there. Little kind of heart shape there. These are, it's trying to pick up on these little supercell thunderstorms. So these are living in their own environment. They're not congealed into a line. And those are the ones that can support kind of rotation that lives for longer, the longer track rotation, the longer track tornadoes that could be on the ground. So the HER that showed you that tornado environment being so high to our west shows those more like supercell thunderstorms to the west. Then let's push the forecast track a little bit further. And it also has some of those entering kind of northwest Georgia by 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And it still has, rather than a straight line of storms, it's still trying to leave some of these storms a little bit more discrete in a sense. And this is showing you 12:30. So the timing of this is slightly slower than the other model I was showing you. This has a lot of those storms not getting into the heart of Atlanta until after 1:30 in the morning. But again, it has more of those. Let's back up just a little bit. More of those kind of discrete cells in West Georgia, and then we start to see the structure of them changing a little bit as it moves into East Georgia early on Sunday morning. So just to recap, we have a big severe weather event that's going to be breaking out tomorrow to our west. And in North Georgia, the timing we are expecting storms to move in is between 8 o'clock tomorrow evening, most of us not until 10 o'clock, 9 or 10, until 6 o'clock on Sunday morning. All modes of severe weather going to be possible. We could be talking about damaging straight line winds. Some of those wind gusts could be 60 to 70 plus miles per hour. Outside of the storms, it's going to be windy. Wind gusts, we call them ambient winds around, okay, not in the storms, but just winds in general, will be increasing throughout the day. And wind gusts right ahead of that line of storms could be gusting 40, 45 miles per hour. So really windy tomorrow evening. And then we'll track as well the increased threat of tornadoes. Some of those tornadoes could also be stronger tornadoes, meaning EF2 or higher. So we are going to be streaming tomorrow evening here on 11 Live Plus on the 24/7 Weather Impact channel, tracking the storms coming in. We're not just going to be streaming what we're seeing on radar, but we have multiple cameras positioned throughout North Georgia to give you a vantage point from up in the air of what the storm structures look like. And we're also going to have our weather impact tracker, our SUV, that's going to be out there as well. I think I'm going to actually be out there in that. So we're going to be, if it's safe to do so, punching the line of storms. If we have more of those discrete cells, I'm not getting near them, but we'll be getting a vantage point from a distance of them and then seeing the damage as we track those storms further east. So that is the latest here. Coming up at 4 o'clock today on 11 Alive. New information coming in. We get new model data in between now and then. So we'll be showing you that on air at 4, 5, and 6 o'clock today. And then if you really enjoyed this extended stream, talking about the weather setup for tomorrow, talking about the severe ingredients. Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb has another one of these coming up at 9 o'clock on 11 Alive Plus on our 24/7 weather channel and on the main channel as well. Be safe over the weekend. Stay informed. Tell your friends and family that storms are coming as well. We want everybody to be aware. That's the #1 way to keep yourself safe, is being informed and aware of the weather moving in. Thanks so much for joining us.